Hello and welcome to this weekend's Punters Guide. Good day's racing to look forward to on Saturday, of course. Brilliant week next week at York as well, which is coming together nicely, Jason Weaver. We've got some big races to look forward to on the Knaves Mile next week.
Absolutely. We're not going to get to see economics because he was absolutely spectacular over in France. But we've got a brilliant lineup for the Juddmonte. Obviously, the Ebor, the handicaps. Oh, there'll be a whole host of winners to be found up at that little bit of God's country, if you like, there on the Knaves Mile.
Yeah, fantastic week ahead. Let's try and boost the betting bank then for the action on the Knaves Mile. We'll have a look at 7 races in front of the ITV cameras and we'll look at them in time order, shall we? So punters can follow it nicely. Smallest field of the lot is in the Geoffrey Stakes that kicks us off at 150. Al Arsi, he finally got that gap to go and win at Goodwood. Can he follow it up in the Geoffrey this afternoon? He's got 4 opponents taking him on.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent renewal considering we've only got a small field. GoDaddy shouldn't be good enough. Sumo Sam managed to make all in the Lily Langtree before going and winning the Park Hill last year. Comes back after a wind up. Roberto Escobar is off the back, second start for the new team that are in very good form. And Al Kareem didn't stay 2 miles last time. He's going to go off in front with Sumo Sam. Jim Crowley can play jockeys again. It's all about getting there late in the day. He's just got to follow that tail that is going to take him to the half furlong marker. He will enjoy this, and the more he can keep him under wraps until late on, the better. So, yeah, I think Al Arsi will get the job done.
Favourite backers off to a winning start then on Saturday. Let's head over to HQ then, 205. We've got the Grey Horse Handicap, which is always a cracking sight, those greys stretched across the HQ. I know you've got a big leniency with horses like Eminency, Stuart Williams having his 1,000th winner this week, but 9 greys head to post.
Yeah, it's a great little race, isn't it? We're gonna get to see where is he, Falah Bengiam, who's the champion jockey or the best jockey that Qatar has to offer. So he gets to show us what he can do, and obviously riding for Wathnan as well is interesting for fine interviews off the back of a pretty decent win. But look, you got First Folio's probably going to sit at the top of the market. He is the class in the lineup. He does have to carry top weight. Can Sylvester get Eminency to put his best foot forward? That's the key, isn't it? Visored for the first time. Didn't run too bad just the other day when a beaten favourite, but I think the ground went against him. So provided the rain stays away, it could be the day for Stuart Williams to get that 1,001, 2, 3, whatever it is now that he's up to.
There we go then. Yes, Eminency sticking with him in the Grey Horse Handicap. Right, back to Newbury for the 225. Blinking, you'll miss these. They were the Flying 5 furlong, the Handicappers.
This is a good little race, this. We've got certain horses that are setting off for new stables. Michaela's boy, who's been gelded, also had the wind operation. I would imagine the big board will be high on many lists after flashing home last time at Ascot. I thought that was a really good effort. The one I've managed to unearth in here, Matt, Myconian, was a pretty decent juvenile for Amy Murphy. It's only £2 weight for age in the sprint division. Had shown next to nothing prior to a really good second last time. Previous juvenile form, sometimes they spend their 3-year-old career in the wilderness, but this was a return to form. And if I was to look at his early season form last year, he still strikes me as a well-handicapped runner. So Amy Murphy, Holly Doyle, rattling 5 furlongs, Myconian, 10 to 1 around that. He might even be an each-way play.
There we are then. Yeah, could be a good day for Holly Doyle. Got some nice mounts. Maybe Myconian could be a winning one in the 225. Right, you mentioned God's Own Country. We're at the Garden Racecourse in Yorkshire, Ripon, where we've got the Great St Wilfrid. Prior to that, we've got the Consolation Race, which is tricky enough, but if it doesn't do anything else, it'll give you draw clues for the big one 35 minutes later.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to have perfect conditions. I always tend to go towards the high numbers. It's just that part of the track that I think there is around about a furlong and a half down. There's a slightly bigger little dip that they seem to get a run off on that part of the track to get away from them, 300 yards away from home. Lots of old favourites in here that are well handicapped. I would think that Maxi Boy could give Finn McSharry a possibly a really big winner off the back of a really good effort behind Ray Vaughan at York. However, drawn over on the far side, I don't think that's the ideal place to be, if I'm being honest. Have a look back at Supreme King's last run in the Brighton Bullet, obviously at Brighton. Drawn on the outside, went round the world, got checked, stopped, flew home. Surprisingly, has only been put up £1. David Evans, trainer, I don't mind when they back him up quickly. You get Dylan Hogan on board, who's brilliant for anybody in the saddle, if you like. Drawn in 8, I think he'll make the decision to go left hand down and be with the high numbers.
We are then. Supreme King then in the Silver Trophy, say drawn pretty reasonably centrally as well. They're trying to back up quickly from that run in the Brighton Bullet. Back to Newbury then for their 3 o'clock, a 7 furlong handicap, 13 set to face the starter, and a tricky betting heat. I quite like one in here, but I'll let you go first.
Okay, well, Walifi will attract the lion's share of support. He's a half-brother to Baid and Hookham. Returned to 7 furlongs, saw him win pretty snugly at Doncaster, taking a rise up the ratings. Documenting won this in 2022. Buick decides to shy away from Zabriskie Point, who he's won on, and gets on Silver Samurai. Is that an angle in, if you like? There are a couple that really take my eye. Lethal Levi will ping along on the front end, won't he? But all his wins, 7 of them, have been over 6 furlongs. He's as yet to win over the long sprint distance. I'm all over United Approach, who ran an absolute cracker up at Newcastle last time behind what I think is a real well-handicapped individual. He's lightly raced, he's improving, low mileage, 4-year-old. So a lot to put him forward, United Approach. And look, he's 50 grand, he actually costed the sales, and he got outpaced at a vital stage and then hit the line really strongly. United Approach, what did you like?
I just thought Zabriskie Point was worth certainly a second look. I know say Buick's got off him, but Hollydall's been riding a lot for Charlie. I just caught my eye at Newmarket and at Goodwood. Made progress in the back at Goodwood. The first and second with the front 2 throughout there. It was a race that didn't really play to anything, held up and wasn't really knocked about in the closing stages. And thought the handicap has dropped him another £2, which I thought could be a little bit lenient. So again, at each way price, the 3-year-old against the elders, I just thought he was certainly worth a second look. Right, the Great St. Wilfrid then. You having a couple of darts in the big betting race of the day?
Yeah, I think I could have a couple. It would be justice were Summergan to go and win. Was he second off 97 last year? He was 4th in 2022 off 98. Second off 100 in 2019. He's got a wonderful record in the race, isn't he? And he's certainly well treated. I think my little friend from riding against him many moons ago, and he's still going, is going to have a great chance in here. Right down the bottom, Jimmy Quinn, who came over with Richard Fahey very early on in both of their careers when they were Richard Fahey, obviously a brilliant jump jockey, as Luke Harvey would call him back in the day, used to maul them around the northern tracks, but he's made himself into an excellent trainer. This is well handicapped. I thought ran really well in the contest last year. Drawn 11 is going to go that way as well. And I think that I think he's more of an each-way play as well. Ramazan, 2 for Fahey, one at the top end of the handicap and one right down the bottom. He didn't run too bad in the Stewards Cup the other day and was drawn on the wrong part of the track. But the one I like, down the bottom, Monsieur Cody. Everybody's going to get sucked into back in Summergan again, aren't we?
Yeah, the Master Mulsey Bank there holds the key according to Jason Weaver. Ramazan the top weight, Monsieur Cody the bottom weight, 2 to look at in the Great St. Wilfrid. And then let's look at the feature race of the day. It is the Hungerford Stakes, the Group 2, of course, over 7 furlongs. You've got the rapidly improving English Oak in here, taking on Kikuli, who was, of course, just narrowly denied in the Jersey Stakes, and the Ramble Par in France last time. It's a good matchup. It's a good race.
Yeah, look, I mean, Folgaria down the bottom, she got some big scalps when winning on return, and then she's running the French 1000 and the Coronation. Witch Hunter is last year's winner. I don't know why Tiber Flow didn't fire last time. That was in the English Oak race as well. There wasn't a great deal between them, but they didn't fire. Jumbie won this in 2022, and Popmaster. This could be the race where he could run really, really well, because all of his victories, surprisingly enough, have come in fairly small fields, although he's got solid handicap form to his name. Kikuli, he's a half-brother to Frankel, Noble Mission, Bullet Train, so he's always going to come with a bit of a ticket. He's not easy. He's not easy. If I watch back the Jersey run, he was a bit keen in the middle of the race. Oshin did really well to finish second on him. And then in France, he was on and off the bridle with Ryan Moore. It was a bit messy. I'll give him the pass that the ground was a bit soft. He just might be the point and shoot on the afternoon in the big race of the day at Newbury.
Yeah, Kikuli then continue that progression. Then Oshin on aboard. Right, 7 races covered. What's your best bet of the weekend?
He's skinny. I think Kikuli will get the job done. If you want one at a price, I find it hard to knock out Monsieur Cody of the big one up at the Garden Racecourse. I think well handicapped. Jimmy Quinn, the Wexford Strawberry, on board for his own mucker Richard Fahey at double digits. I think he run really well. Each way player.
There we are. One for favourite backers, one for those that like one at a price as well. Thanks to Jason. We'll catch up with him throughout next week at York.
And don't forget the goals galore, of course, right? And if you want the 3, I believe there's been a massive nudge up to 5-1 for 3 all to score. Love a bit of that.
There you go. Yeah, getting your goals galore bonus keeping then where we are 5-1 for 3 games where all teams score. And I know you're a big fan of when both teams score, it's goals galore. So get involved in that. And we'll see you next week on the Knaves Mile. Whatever you're back in this weekend, the best of luck.